Okay, so let me share a little presentation before I have Sid Katrina come on to share with us. This one I literally to put it in, guys. So give me a second. Present. So let me go back. Ta-da! Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
Guys, thank you so much. You know, Coach Katrina, you so amazing. You are one of our inspiration, and I literally look up to you so much. So thank you so much for taking the time today. Saturday it mixing properly when I fix it. Sorry about that. So guys, this Katrina C683.3. How amazing it is. And let me share a couple moments with you. Let me see with the next one. How to go to the next one. Congratulations, Katrina. So proud of you guys. We follow your footsteps, guys. We can do this. 682-3. Let's see how it goes. We can do this. Guys, that's a couple moments that I caught during the convention, and OMG, it's just like so much inspiration, and your journey have been like wow, outstanding. So thank you so much, Coach Katrina, for being here with us and share your journey with us here. So please introduce yourself and take it away.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Let me do.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, PB and Josh. I didn't know you guys took a behind the scenes. That was so sweet of you guys. Thank you so much. And I think we can start off with that,
Oh,
you guys are
oh,
well prepared for this, like
oh,
since
Katrina.
June.
I'm so
Hello?
sorry. Yeah, let me mute everyone, and then you unmute yourself. Okay?
Okay,
So making
sure.
sure. Yeah, mute everyone now. Um. Okay, and now Coach Katrina, please unmute yourself.
There we go.
There you go. Yes, that's the trick. Thank you so much again. You too. You guys are well prepared for this since June. You got the videos and all. So again, thank you so much. 140 of us here gathering on a weekend, investing time for your businesses, for your self growth, for motivating and inspiring yourself. So thank you so much for being here. Give yourself a pat in the back. That is a huge thing. Always making sure you are progressing. By the way, if this is the first time you guys are seeing me, I'm Katrina, Katrina Luna Umali. That's my name that I use as well on my social media, across all my social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Where else? I think also on LinkedIn, although I'm not too active there. Sorry, there's my boys are here. It's a weekend. So pardon the shouting and the rowdy fun at the back end. And I've been here in the business for more than 5 years now. I started April 2019 while I was on my maternity leave from my work as an admin assistant at an investment firm here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I am originally from the Philippines. I have my three boys. The photos are there. And we moved here 8 years ago, just like I think a lot of immigrants are here as well. And the typical story of wanting to have that greener pasture for our children, for our family mainly. And I left my different careers in the Philippines. I used to work at the TV station, and also that's where I met my husband. And then I studied nursing. He sent me to nursing school to practice nursing here. That was the original plan here in Canada, because we thought that's the only ticket to success. And we know how how lucrative being a healthcare professional is. But yes, trading time for money, you're taking care of other people. It's ironic, but you're not able to take care of your own family sometimes, even yourself, right? And then that was so I got registered there. I practiced for a month as a student intern, and then I was hired, and then I quit. But I did not quit without, like, without a backup. So right by the time I walked away from nursing, I already have the life insurance career. Like, okay, I think I can do this better because the time flexibility. Yes, it's a sales background, although I didn't have any sales background prior to that, but it's a skill. Any skills can be learned, right? Of course, it's not easy at the beginning, but I get to know and learn to love it, and the people that I work with. I was actually about to get promoted to become a manager back then, but I had to say no. I love my manager. I love my boss there. We still communicate up until now, but I we have bigger dreams here in Canada. So I said goodbye to all of that and restarted fresh here with my husband as well. He actually said goodbye to a 15, 17 year, I think, yeah, 15-year career in the television. It started from scratch here as well. So that was really not a walk in the park for both of us. But then after a couple of years, we realized we were still running in circles. We are earning dollars, but it's just like the same. We're here, it's just a different location, but we're still trading time for money. And I think the tipping point was when I was about to take my maternity leave. I remember I was about to give birth February of 2019 to our third son. And it was December. I got really scared. Like, I really remember that moment that, oh my gosh, I'm about to take my maternity leave. That means we will be living off of my employment insurance. We're grateful for that here in Canada. It's basically 55% of whatever you're earning from your previous employment before you take that leave. And then my husband was on a student loan, full-time student. So technically, we're fully dependent on the government. We love Canada. We're grateful. But of course, come to think of it, we did not move here to be dependent on the government, right? That's a pretty hard pill to swallow. And so I know from then on, I was like, there really, something has to change. But I'm not really looking at, like, shifting career or something. I was just, I guess, tired, we can say, tired of just going through the mundane. And so I just prayed, like, Lord, I'm scared. Like, show me something. I know I needed to do something different to have a different result, because a lot of us, although it's the most logical thing, we have to do something different to get different results. But most of us, usually, we do the same things over and over again, and we would be expecting a different result, right? And they said that's really being crazy. How will you get different results if you're not doing something different? So I know I needed to do something different, but I don't know what that is. So I prayed, like, Lord, show me something. I know I needed to do something different. And that was December. Like, that prayer was December. And then a few weeks into January, I saw my mentors and coaches ad on Facebook, coaches Dave and Roxanne. And so I got curious. I have a fellow, like a colleague here in Toronto. She commented on their ad, and she said, info, please. And back then, Dave and Roxanne was 3A. And then, so they didn't have the massive results yet that they have right now. I'm telling you this because the being you, being authentic, that's where you will attract your future business partners. But in their ad, the power there is basically they introduce themselves, and then at the middle of their ad, they show different testimonials of, like, the dream team testimonials. I think it's just about 5 minutes in total or less. And then towards the end, they have an extra, like, those are the people that so they just share their story. I was like, okay. And then they're talking about their faith, family, things like that. And I was like, okay, this sounds very interesting. Um, a part of me is like, but is this real? I think a lot of us can relate here. And but really, my instinct is telling me, like, okay, if these people are doing something bad, how come, they're very confident putting their faces out there? And actually, before finishing their ad, I actually click on their business page and their personal account on Facebook. I snooped on them, and then I scrolled like, okay, I can just easily report these people if they're doing something bad, right? So I told myself, okay, they're talking about faith ministry. Okay, this must be something um, that I can look into. So the rest was history. And I think the important thing there is they became authentic and they leverage on other people's success. Plus, when they were talking, there was a bookshelf behind them, and it's a Dave Ramsey book. Dave Ramsey is a financial expert in the US. He teaches biblical based um, money, managing money, wealth. And that time, that month, I actually borrowed a book from the library, a Dave Ramsey book. I don't know how I got into him. And I was like, it was like in my face, like behind them. Like, oh my gosh, they're also reading a Dave Ramsey book. And right there and then I was like, okay, Lord, is this the answer to my prayers? If this is not, I don't know what it is, right? So I took that as a sign. So I can say the rest is history, right? And so that was April 2019 plus 5 plus years ago. A lot of learning curves. I didn't have any background in social media advertising or nor business. uh, I would just post on my personal Facebook, perhaps just once or twice a month, just to tell my friends and families that, hey, we're still alive. There's just a beautiful occasion. That's about that. So posting, like, I think a lot of you as well can relate. It's really something that I have to embrace, learn to embrace. And it did not come like naturally at first. I love taking photos, I love taking videos. But something in me is telling, okay, I don't want to appear like bragging, my life on social media, things like that. We're all private people. We're not celebrities, right? So yeah, that a lot of learning curves and challenges as well. Of course, it did not come like just a walk in the park. My husband was also not 100% on board back then. Um, because he was thinking this is not, something real as well. And because of like a bad financial decision I made, I did not consult him in the past. So he has that wall. So I wouldn't really blame him. And so that was like one of the biggest challenges. And I remember the instance I gave birth, a lot of moms here who have given birth, the postpartum hormones, the postpartum blues, things like that. So all my emotions are haywire. My mother-in-law was here helping out, like I think for 2 months. And I remember the time when I bought in and I started watching the discovery videos, the pre-coaching call videos back then. And then I saw Inagic. And then I actually went to YouTube and searched like, what is this Inagic? What is this all about? So I was watching somebody on YouTube, not our discovery videos, but like an outside video about Inagic and telling about how lucrative it is. So I was alone with a baby because my husband and my mother-in-law, they went to go to the market, groceries. I don't know where my other kids are. I think it's a weekday, so they might be in school. So I was looking at it, and my husband was already like kind of know that I did something, that I purchased something, the 99 back then, now it's 149 US. And then the moment they entered our apartment, my husband saw the video that was playing, and he looked at me. He gave me the look like I've gone crazy. That look like, what have you done? He did not say anything, but his eye says it all. Like I've committed like a huge crime, the feeling. And I cannot, oh, and he said, what are you doing? Like, that's the thing that he said, but I know that it's a loaded question. So I know that we're not like 100% both on board, like especially him. I cannot do anything because like I cannot cry. I cannot show, I don't want to show my emotions because my mother-in-law was there. She might get worried. So it was really a tough situation. It's like I can't even talk to anybody, right? But of course, I reached out to Dave and Roxanne as well. I told them that my husband was very skeptical, and then they tagged me on different posts as well, and that really helped a lot. Especially, I remember Dave tagging me on Maria Leon's post, having a skeptical spouse as well. And her message there when she said, you know what, I'm just here. I am I'm gonna make this work. If you don't hear from me, reach out to me. I want to make this work. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am that. Like, she's also feeling alone at times. So really tagging people on different success posts on the dream team that really would make them resonate with the story. So do that. So that's one of the biggest challenges that I faced. And how did I deal with that? I just, I just um focused, and I just worked silently. So I would do all my household stuff. My husband helps a lot as well in the household, but I would put the kids to sleep. Once they're asleep, I would go in one corner silently, and I would borrow my son's. I didn't even have my own laptop back then. I only bought, you guys know this. Oh, you have it, you don't know this yet, but I actually bought my own laptop when I hit 6A. I didn't have my own laptop for the first year. I just used my son's desktop. It's not even a laptop. A desktop which was free from the computer class that he attended. So here, we're living close to like core downtown core, many free programs for kids. For those of you who are here in Canada, it's a TD Bank computer program. I think it's over summer. Was it summer? No, not yet, because it was April. So he finished it, I think, for 8 weeks or so. So he got a free computer, and that's the only thing that I was using. We have a laptop from the Philippines, but it's very slow. So I just use that. So for those of you who are like, oh, I don't have a good laptop, I need to buy this. No, you don't. You just need basic, working computer with a good internet connection. That's all you need. So I would be there silently. Sometimes when the baby would wake up, I would carry him on my lap, on my arms, or I would put like a carrier. So I would go hands free, and I would do my work. And I would work usually from 10 p.m. to 1 in the. I got muted. I mute myself. Sorry about that. I would work like 10 to 1, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. because that's the quietest time. That's my business
Wait, I have
hours.
to take your picture, Chuck.
Yes. So I remember also,
I need to
I
take
would
your
just send,
picture.
oh, sorry. Anyone?
Yeah.
Thanks, PB. And then I remember I would send Coach Roxanne a message like in the wee hours of the morning. Um, and I'm not rushing her to answer me. I just want to put my question there. So in the morning when she has time, she would answer. And that's how I got started. I think on my second week, I was able to, second or third week, I was able to, less than a month, I was able to run my very first Facebook ads. And then I consistently post like 3 times a day, as in 3 times. And I would feel, I think there are a few times that would miss. I would make sure I would post in the morning, noon, and night. So it's all well paced. But my post there, I was like, I'm just sharing a meme. It's like everywhere. I didn't even know like what branding is, but I just put myself out there because you know what, guys? Consistency always beats quality. Remember that. Don't overthink. Sometimes I still overthink up until this point because you wouldn't know the quality of the post that your audience would appreciate if you're not posting often, right? And So I would post 3 times every day. And there were times I missed just a few times. And
Yeah.
I feel so stressed out. I actually
Yep.
asked Roxanne if I can backdate, which I actually did. I think you can still do that. I actually backdated some of my posts to, like, if I forgot like to post today and then I posted it tomorrow, I would actually backdate it today. You can actually do that. I believe up until now, because I want my audience to see that I'm consistently posting every single day, 3 times a day on certain times. But those posts, you know what? Crickets. It's just Dave and Roxanne, interacting with my posts. Sometimes like zero. Was it hard? Was it like, did I feel like, oh my gosh, nothing is working? No one's is seeing my post. Of course, I did feel that. But I know I'm planting seeds. So I stay consistent, right? Um, you can feel discouraged. That's normal because we're human beings, right? Sometimes you would post and no one even likes your post. No one even like bother to put a thumbs up or a heart or comment on it. That's okay, because sometimes you need to post not for your audience. You need to post for yourself. You discover what you're comfortable sharing on social media. You discover, oh, this is how you do Canva, or this is how I do the text, or this is the button I push, right? Because you learn. It's a skill that you learn how to do consistently when you do it, every day, right? Um, yeah. So that is my, like, at the beginning, and then I think I hit 3A September, so April, May, June, July, August. It's like 5 months into the business. I'll like Phoebe and Josh, you hit like 6A in what, 10 months? That's amazing, right? So each journey is different, but I tell you, I would always also compare myself to others. At first, it was like more of like, oh my gosh, how is this person doing this? I remember I have a batchmate, like we started the same month under coaches Dave and Roxanne, and she was like, she's already done her like this part of the training. I was like, what's going on? Why is she so fast? But I use that as a motivation. Like, okay, if she can do that, that means I can also do it like faster, right? Um, so every single day I would do something on the business. It can get overwhelming. I remember when I first saw the training site, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Like, how will I be able, like, comment in the chat right now? Comment number one if you felt overwhelmed when you first saw the training site. Comment one if you're like, oh my gosh, what is this all about? There's so many tabs in here. There you go. Right, right, right. Awesome. Well, not really awesome, but I just want to know that you're not alone. Like, see the chat roll. A lot of us, if not all of us, felt overwhelmed. Why? Because it's really a huge, a lot of things to do, especially if we're a lot of us here, we don't have any background with social media advertising, with business. But that has confirmed one thing also, like, okay, this is a lot, but that means also this is a real business. Like, it's real. I have my distributor ID, I got email from my Magic, things like that. I gave my, social insurance number, da, da, da. But seeing the training unlocked, like, it made it more real for me. That means, okay, there are steps to follow so I can go and reach my goal. So I was more motivated. I was overwhelmed at the same time, but that made me think that, okay, this is really legit because we have things to follow here, right? And then I just, stay consistent every day. I make sure I am doing something for the business. What helped me is like setting mini goals for the day. For example, okay, this tab has 10 sub tabs on it. Maybe I can finish 3 for today and then I'll move on. You know, I'll make sure I'll finish this 3 sub tabs and then I'll move on. And I remember also I kept asking question to Roxanne, like, sis, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I noticed she would always say, oh, sis, actually, it's on the training. And then she would like sometimes take a screenshot of it and send to me. And I was like, and then so I kept asking questions, and she would always redirect me to the training site. So I noticed, wait a minute, why would you always just say it's on the training site? So next time I ask a question, I check the training site, and guess what? It's really on the training site. Right? So sometimes, especially because when we're at the beginning stages of our training here in the business, we panic. We tend to panic more. We tend to like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Oh my god, I am that person too. I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss something? What is this? And even though we all have the same training side, we're human beings. We interpret different things, differently, right? Sorry, I would rephrase that. We sometimes interpret the same, like a certain concept differently, right? So from then on, I made sure that I watch the training videos over and over at least 3 times if I don't understand it, and YouTube and Google it if I don't understand a term. And then the only time I would go to my mentors and coaches is when I'm just confirming something, or I would ask for their second opinion. I would say, hi, David Roxanne. So the training said, I have a question. I already checked the training. This is what it says. I checked Google. This is what it says. Da, da, da. I just want to confirm if my understanding is correct, you know? And they appreciate that. And you know what that made me as well? It prepared me to become a mentor as well, because I know exactly what I'm doing, right? It's not like before, like if I don't understand, I would now message Roxanne or Dave. Now I will, like the gin method. I learned from my brother as well. Google it now if you don't understand. Of course, our training site, it's a very comprehensive, but not everything is there, especially social media platforms update, evolve like so often, and it's not real time. Like everything is like updated in a matter of a second, right? The interface could be different, but the concept is the same. So you have to look at the bigger picture. If you don't see this button here, but you are trying to achieve a certain goal for your ad, look into that as a bigger picture, and don't get too like first too frustrated with something that, oh my gosh, this is totally different from the training side, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just going to be like frustrating on your end, right? How can I make this better? Always ask yourself, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what's working. This is not what's working, what's not working. How can I improve? How can I make this better? Always ask yourself, how can I make this better? Right? So I hit my 3A 5 months into the business. I think more than a year into the business, I hit my 6A, and one after the other. And I remember on my first year still, I think that was November or December of 2019. Although I've had like a few business partners already. Um, but I'm still trying to find my winning ad. And I remember I believe I did everything. I followed the training site. I was doing a Facebook conversion ad back then. And then I have $150 limit, credit limit on my credit card. And I was running a $10 ad. So technically I have 15 days to run that ad. I don't know. I was like, Lord, I did it all. It's on your court right now. It's like I surrendered. Like I know I did everything. I did my best. Lord, I'm giving you an ultimatum. If this business for me, I know, this business for me, make it work. It's just that feeling of peace after that. I don't know why, but it's just that surge of feeling of peace that, lead my ads to the people that I can help. That was my prayer. And then I started really working as well. I think that was the time I got to know the Miracle Morning from coaches David and Roxanne, like really working on yourself first, especially first thing in the morning, however morning looks like for you, if you work night shift, like really focusing on your self growth, your mindset, your faith, prayer, meditation in the morning, visualizing your goals, writing it down, reading, so, exercise, always a work in progress. So filling your cup first so you can give more, not just for the business, but for your family, right? And that's the time. And I started like Bob Proctor meditation as well, abundance meditation. Until now, I do that. I still listen to him. I just listened to him again this morning. And that's a time that really I started hitting the ranks. Like, attracting more business partners in my team, my leaders. I'm grateful that I've attracted a lot of, self-sustaining leaders that sometimes I would ask myself, have I mentored you guys like properly? Because you guys are like killing it. So I'm very grateful for that. And of course, having like a lot of my business, like all my business partners have giving that trust in me, even if we're miles away, although a lot of them are also from Toronto. And having that trust, even if we haven't met in person. And I remember my very first business partner, she's also a nurse. She has a daughter who is almost the same age as my youngest. And she's also from here in Toronto. And that was like the switch has been flicked that, oh, okay, this is attraction marketing. You attract who you are. Because before my thinking was, I can work with anybody. I will target anybody. Well, anybody can do this business. That is correct. As long as, you're willing and, you're coachable and you're a big dreamer, right? But then I realized that mostly the people who would click on my ad are working moms who are in the same background as me before, like in healthcare, in finance, in marketing. So I was like, okay, my audience is talking loudly to me. These are the people who can totally resonate with me. I was scared to niche down, to exclude like the other, like the dads, because they're also parents, that right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm excluding a huge market. But when I decided to focus on the working moms, then that niche, they said the riches are in the niches. And that's really where I got more results from my ads. And yeah, so, and I hit my dash 3 last year while I was vacationing in the Philippines. That was July. And it's crazy. Imagine having, that was our first vacation as well as a family in the Philippines, first time after moving here to Canada. And all expense paid, and being able to sponsor my parents to live with us here in Canada. My dad is here already, so my mom is following. For the longest time, we're not able to qualify for the sponsorship because of our household income, combined income. It's not enough, but just the income alone from the business, it's more than enough. And then, moving to this new place in downtown Toronto, I've mentioned this story also in one of my Go Lives. This place actually, when I was 7 months pregnant with our third son, 7 months pregnant, I saw this when I was about to give birth, like 8 months pregnant with him. So no, September, November, December. No, sorry, about 4 months pregnant. Our old apartment, our second apartment, which is like a 50-plus-year-old building, we got bed bugs. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced bed bugs. They said it's common with old buildings. And I was pregnant, so it was extra difficult because we had to evacuate our place. So we had to cover everything. And it was my birth month, September 2018. And we had to check in at a 2-star hotel. It's actually here. I can actually see it from our window right now. And the kids were so happy because they thought, we're just celebrating because it's my birth month. But deep inside, I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, I don't want this to happen again, ever. I promise myself, never again. because it was tough, like, because that's the only apartment that we can afford. And I was emotional. I was a big pregnant belly, almost, starting to get big. Um, and then the two-star hotel that we stayed at, it's across here. I actually saw this building. It was like, I think it just was finished. The building of this is like a 6-year-old building. And I was like at the window, I was like looking at it. It's like, okay, how will it feel like to live in that brand new condo apartments, brand new walls, no bed bugs, with new amenities. So it got me dreaming, it got me like visualizing. But I know this must be like this must cost, like the rent here must cost like a lot. But it's free to dream anyway. And I remember that was just a dream. Okay, I haven't even seen the business back then. And then fast forward to a few months, and we're already thinking of oh no, not yet. I haven't seen the business yet, but there was a time I actually went to the rental office of this building. I don't know where I got the courage, but I know for sure you cannot afford it yet. Yet is a powerful word. So I asked them, and they told me the rent, and my heart sank. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm torturing myself. It's beautiful, but we can't afford it yet." So I got the forms, the picture of the layout of the building. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I really want to move here." And then months have passed. I told my husband, but and then months have passed, and then I saw the business already. After a year in the business, we're like, oh, okay, I can actually like move, because we were just staying at a 1-bedroom place. So this is a 2-bedroom place. And we look around. I actually forgot about this. And we weren't able to get the other apartments. But later on, I was like, hey, wait a minute. I remember this. I went back. Whew, everything is approved. Like, okay, move in. And that was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, and then when we were viewing this, I saw the hotel right across. Like, can you imagine all the memories flashing back to me? Like, oh my gosh, I just dreamt of this place, and now we're here. I didn't know how to get here back then, but now we're here. Like, so I'm telling that story to you guys because you just need to know your goal. What is it that you really want? What do you really want? You don't need to know how to get there. Like maybe the ranks, the 6A, the -2, the -3, -8 and above. I don't even know when I was starting how to get to where I am right now, but I just kept on going. You just need to know what you want, and then everything else will follow. Okay. And yes, so that's that. I think I have to share something here, but let me see if I'll be able to.
Oh,
I just,
let me
yeah, go ahead,
let me
TV.
allow you. Yeah, you can share now, Sister Katrina.
Okay, hang on. I think I'll just do, hang on. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. Uh, okay, hang on. I'll just load this up. Sure. Okay, sharing this. I think you guys are seeing this, right? These are the slides that I used to show in my coaching calls. But since we have like new improved discovery videos, these are like not necessary anymore. I feel like, hang on. So yeah, so this was the very first Dream Team convention. I just want to share that with you guys. Hang on. Like I feel very, oops, 12%, and I'll make this bigger. Hang on. Oops, no, no. Share. And then percent. Okay, I think this is bigger. Just a few snapshots of the past few years. Of course, I'm very grateful, out of like back then, right now we're at 200 something thousand, right? So to be able to represent my team with this banner, you know what? This one, it was printed months, a couple of months before I hit -3. And then Mike messaged me like, "Hey Katrina, I've learned from Dave and Roxanne that you're gonna hit your -3 by the convention date. I Congratulations, but I what I need from you is like a high resolution photo, not just from your phone, but like a real photo studio so we can print it on the banner." Imagine they're already printing this without me being a -3 yet. I don't know how, but when that time came, yes, I'm officially a -3, like way before that. Oh no, because that was August. I was in the Philippines July, so a month before that we hit it. And of course, my huge inspirations, the reason, why I'm here, which is Dave and Roxanne. There you go. And this is our team over there. Maybe a lot of you are also in the Dream Team convention. And this is just a recap of my 2023. I think this is 30 seconds. And a lot of this travels, the things that I was able to do with my family, of course, was because of the business. So here we go. God, I'm still counting on days. Still counting my days. It's been a while since I watched that again. I should watch it even more. Yeah, that's just like last year. It's the I've most number of travels that I was able to do in a year, just in December alone. Dubai, Paris, London, side trip to Turkey, like stuff over New York. That was a long time dream. My husband and I, we agreed on like the very first U.S. state that we will go to once we are citizens is New York, because it's the closest and it's New York, and we were able to do that after in between Christmas and New Year last year. And it's crazy, like just looking at those and being able to surprise my father. Like, when we went home to the Philippines, my brother and I are chatting. He was just there, his family is here in Canada, in Edmonton. And I told him, okay, since you're there, it's easier for you, just buy tickets and I'll just pay whatever. We're able to surprise our father with a one-way ticket from the Philippines to Canada. So after a month, he followed. And, being able to send our son to a private school and giving them the experiences that we believe will better prepare them for their future. Yeah, that's amazing to see. Watching that again. Hang on. There you go. Yes, my husband is, yes. he got on board during COVID. I think that was really a key season in my business, in our business, because he was just starting out as an early childhood educator, because remember he was studying, right? And then he graduated with honors. We're proud of that. Oh, sorry, I stopped. Why did I stop sharing? And then uh March 2020, I just went back to my admin position at the investment firm. And then COVID happened. So we were forced to work from home. And then he was just starting out to get, in the hiring process of being an early childhood educator. But there was no school. So the hiring team, the HR stopped. So he didn't have any work that time. And thankfully, I got back at work, but working from home. And then the check still came, and that's when he realized, like, I think I started earning back then like five figures in a month. And that's when I remember him saying, it's good that you still get, checks. It's good that you started the business. And I was rejoicing inside, like, but I don't want to show it. But I was like, this is it. I know that was really the time that he really realized that I've I've started something really good for our whole family. And you guys might not see him like on cam because he's really the introverted one. I think really opposites attract, right? But I am able to do what I do because of him. I'm here. I can focus on serving you guys, sharing my story, our story here, because he's taking care of the kids. He's in the kitchen, dinner with the kids. Right? And he is able to hold the fourth, and so I can focus here. So that's his share. And he takes videos of me, photos of me. He knows my angles, things like that. So that's his share. And he always keeps me on my toes, like, um every time, like, he anchors me every time. That's why I am who I am right now, because a huge part of that is because of my husband. Okay, and then hang on, I'll just continue sharing here, and I will be going back to the chat for your questions. Okay, and then let's see what's in here. So just some of the photos that I also mentioned my story here. There you go. This is our very first table in 2016, before I discovered there's IKEA. There you go. Imagine we just have two boxes. Our lives, we packed our lives back in the Philippines, and like four luggages, and that's it. This is when we had our first our oath taking, because it was COVID season. So we just did a virtual ceremony, very unique, and I was able to quit my job. I would sometimes forget that. This is actually my fourth year. It's crazy to think about that. Fourth year of me being, just my own boss, we could say. Um, yes, so 19 months. Was it a hard decision? It was. Like deep inside my heart, I wanted to quit, but it wasn't easy to do. Why? Because a lot of, like, there has to be a paradigm shift, because we are groomed to work until we're 60, 65, and retire, enjoy retirement up until then. So the idea of just doing this and this alone without the security of a paycheck, it's really scary at first. But then I prayed, I did like the pros and cons, things like that. And I asked Dave, like, Dave, because Dave was able to quit his job already back then. And what made you decide? And he said, Katrina, pray about it. If you find peace in that, whatever decision that is, then go ahead. And you guys know what that decision is, right? And then, sharing moments like this with my family, being on a cruise and generating income from the business. These are the travels, like in a month. Um, Paris is actually, wait a minute, hang in there. I've shared this in one of the go lives that I did. So I have this who knows Pandora bracelets? So you have this bracelet and then you put charms on it. And my husband gave this to me like earlier when we were here when we moved here in Canada already. And I only have 3 charms here. One is heart, like for love, things like that. And the other 2 charms is actually very it's what's this? Statue of Liberty. And then the other one is Paris. So Paris is actually my like top one in my bucket lists. And so the Dubai, the Enagic Dash 3 and above meeting, and Kristen Clark, one of the huge leaders in our community as well, one of my inspirations when I was starting out. She said, she asked me to be her roommate. I was like, course, go. And then she said, this is actually my first time like flying out of the country. Would you like to do a side trip to Paris? I was like, what? That's crazy. I was freaking out. Like, side trip to Paris? Never had to imagine that it will come true last year. So I said, yes. And the rest is history. There you go. So Dubai, Paris, and then coming back home, it was actually supposed to be just a layover, like 1 hour of layover in London. But our flight got delayed, so I had to stay overnight. They paid the what they call this, the airline company paid for my hotel, and I was there like 8 p.m. and my flight is not until in the morning. I was like, what am I gonna do? This is my first time in London. I don't want to waste it. So I took an Uber, like 40 minutes to the core, like with all these photo landmarks. I just took a photo there. Like, this is midnight up until like 1 in the morning. I just bought my tripod for this one. I have like a couple taking a photo here, London Eye, and just captured it. So this is also like how you guys can leverage on your travels, right? And I was grateful enough, like Jill Jensen here, she loves having photo shoots at destination events, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want that too. So that's actually Jill Jensen on the green one. They just hit dash 5 like a couple of days ago, and that's Rowan who just hit dash 4. So rubbing elbows with these huge power moms, it's like, oh my gosh, you look up to them, especially when I was beginning, and then now I'm with them, having like the time of our lives in the desert. One thing you'll realize is that they're also like everyday people like all of us, but they catch the vision, they caught the vision, and they work towards it every single day. And that means it's also possible for every one of us. And I remember in my ad, this one, a lot of people in my ad thought that this was a fake, because it's too beautiful. I get that, right? The Paris video. And then this is our vacation in the Philippines. We this is like a regular transportation. There we rented it out for the experience. Photos. We had a photo shoot as well in the beach with the family of my husband there. Giving this experiences. And there you go. My dad is now living with my brother in Edmonton, and I actually surprised them on my niece's 18th birthday, because this is actually on my vision board. So I did surprise them. They were clueless. And then, yeah, there you go. That picture is worth 1,000 words. There you go. That's it. So that's my story, a little long, but I kind of interview as well my strategies for advertising, because I know PB and Joss also want me to talk about that. Before I hop on to my tips and strategies for advertising, do you guys have any questions about the story I shared?
So first of all, congratulations, OMG, and even your husband. Honor, congratulations. Wow, super proud. And thinking about, I remember, Katrina, the first video that you were crying, like this business work, and you just give birth, and you were crying and say, okay, I'm gonna work this in silence, And now look at you, and now he number one supporter. So congratulations. Guy, if you have any question, so actually before we go to the question, let's turn on your camera and let's take a picture and couple of videos so that we can leverage, because I know people often like, because of something they have to leave sooner than later. So Guy, let me see, multi speaker gallery, there you go. So Guy, turn on your camera, get ready, and you guys can also take picture for yourself, right? So that you don't have to wait for us, and just in case that we don't catch your picture, so use your phone, do take picture and your video as well, okay? So first of all, let's put on the heart. You see, explain how to do that in the bottom.
So get down at the bottom where it says react. And then there's effects and reactions. Which one are we doing?
Either way, just
Either
put
way.
some heart so that we take a picture and
There you
video.
go.
Smile guy, we have couple pages. Thank you so much, Katrina. Amazing guy. We have over 188 people. Amazing Zoom today, guy. Keep on smiling. I'm going to take picture in camera. So admin, please help me to take picture as well. 1, 2, 3. Keep smiling. All right. Hold on. Guys, I'm going to meet you all. 1 second. Meet all. Yes. So that the picture can be in gallery instead of somebody talk. It just show them. So give me a second. All right, let's try this again. Okay, guys. All right, one last time. So now please put on your heart and smiling. 1, 2, 3. Keep smiling. Okay, front page. Now go to the second page. 1, 2, 3. Now go to the third one. Please smile. 1, 2, 3. And the last one. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Video done, the picture done, and now let's go back to the question. Any question do you have? First of all, guys, give a lot of heart for our coach Katrina. She has been amazing, spending her time, sharing her journey, and so much golden nugget in here, guys. So put a lot of heart inside the chat box to show support, guys. And any question do you have, you can raise your hand one by one. I would say, go Katrina, maybe just do 3 questions for now. And then you can go to your tip and, on the strategy. So whoever have the question, please raise your hand. Okay, the first one, Christina Mozaza. Unmute yourself and ask question, please.
Okay, hi Katrina. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I just want to ask, what is your biggest challenge when you did this business, and how did you overcome it?
Hello. Sorry, I was trying to find you. Your square. Sorry, your name is? Oh, there you go, Christine. There you go. By the way, I love that effect, like all the hearts. I was trying to put my heart, but it's not showing. I don't know why. But thank you. I love that. I learned something new today. See? We always learn. Christine, biggest challenge, I think, at the beginning is like the skepticism in the household. No doubt that's really like because when you're trying to do something and the favor is not like 100% on your end, it's very sometimes it gets very discouraging, right? And especially if it's like a dear person to you. This is not just like a random.
Sorry, go
Yeah, it's
Katrina.
okay, PB. It got
Sorry, try again. It's just like people so much.
yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. So yeah, that was really one of the biggest challenge, having skepticism in the house, because it's just hard to move on if you're dealing with like, okay, I will just work quietly here, I cannot, like, I'm just sneaking some photos here and there when he's not looking. Yeah, that was one of the really biggest challenge and biggest challenges, and I think a lot of you have, you know, if you all have any kind of skepticism in the household, please type S, you know, in the chat row. So we can see that we are not alone. You are not alone, you know, type in the chat S if you have ever dealt with currently or in the past have dealt with skepticism in the household. Could be your spouse, your parents, your relatives, your children, you know, your friends, not just in the household, but maybe a close, a dear person to you. If you've ever experienced that, type in S. So you can see that, hey, you guys are not alone. There you go. A lot of you, there you go. You guys are not alone. And I've also done a Zoom with my team regarding this, like, you know, creating harmony in the household, because I've learned that from Eric Worre. Maybe you guys can also Google that. Eric Worre is an expert on the network marketing industry, although he usually does it offline, but a lot of the concepts are applicable in our business. The business, what I really learned about from his teaching is when it comes to like skepticism in the household is this business is not like, or any network marketing business, we just do ours like differently, we do it online. This business is not like the catalyst for breaking a marriage or any relationship. This is not the reason for that. You know why? This business actually just magnifies your current relationship status with your spouse. What does that mean? That means if you're not in good, like, you know, if you're having issues with money, and a lot of us has or had, that's why we're all here, right? This business magnifies that, because now you have to refocus, like, hey, why are you doing that? Because I want to, you know, help our finances, because there's an underlying relationship issues already. So this business just magnifies whatever that is. You may or may not agree, but when I realized that, like, I was like, oh yeah, because we were not actually open with our finances, you know, not very transparent. That's why I love listening to Dave Ramsey, the baby steps. That's why I got I click on Dave and Roxanne's ad. That's also the reason why they're now debt free and mortgage free, and I'm following that footsteps as well, those footsteps as well. So it's actually a magnifier. There's an underlying condition with that. You know, you have to talk it out. It's all about communication as well, and maybe you're seeing things in a different light, like, or sometimes also there's egos being hurt, like one spouse, you know, might feel like he or she would be the one earning more, or maybe you've done something in the past that did not work, and so your spouse is thinking, okay, here he goes again, or here she goes again, trying things again. Like PB and Josh, they've tried so many things as well in the past, right? So you guys also know that feeling, like, okay, sometimes you're hopeless already, but you kind of know you want to try it again, right? So there's so many, it's a complex thing, and we do see that, we do understand that. And for me, it's a hard pill to swallow that, oh my gosh, yes, it actually magnifies my relationship with my husband, that we are not really in sync with when it comes to our finances. Because Dave Ramsey always said, in any relationship, there's always a spender and there's always a saver. And I am the spender and my husband is the saver. And when we talk about it, realize that it's because of our upbringing as well.
These are good.
Like, you know, and then so we kind of realize, okay, that's why that's your personality about money, and this is why this is my personality about money. So we have to meet halfway, right? We have to talk things out. Yeah. So I think that that's to answer your question, Christine. I know that's a long answer, but that's one of the biggest challenges. And also when it comes to time management, right? Energy, I would say I'd like to call it now energy management because who is that? I think it's Bob Proctor who said you can't really manage time. We all have 24/7. Beyonce also has 24/7, right? The presidents of the countries all also have 24/7. We cannot really manage it. The only thing that we can manage is the activities, our energy. What do we give priorities to? What are the things that we do on a daily basis? Who is that? Was it John Maxwell? No. Who is that expert on time management? I said, I can actually see, give me a day in your life, like any day. I'll visit your house. I will monitor you from the time you wake up until the time you sleep, and I can tell exactly where you're going. So that means, oh yeah, it's John Maxwell. The secret to success is in the daily activities and the daily habits. What are you prioritizing every single day, right? And a lot of us are busy. Life is busy, Who here is not busy? Right? Everyone has a lot of responsibilities in the family, at work, a lot of issues, a lot of there's so many things going on in one person's life. But the thing is, how do you show up every single day? I always make sure, like all of us have, like full-time employment. When we see this business opportunity, a lot of my new business partners are also like, how are you able to do it? And I just said, I just became more intentional with my time. When I went back to work, my lunch breaks and my commute back to work, back home, are my business hours. I watch the webinar not in one sitting. I watch it in a week, 15-minute increments. Whenever, I would go to the subway and there's a part that you would go up on the street, you have signal. So I would be able to watch it and then it will be gone. Now I have to continue again next day. I was like, wait a minute, the people are different. The concept is the same, but I find Leanne, back then it was Leanne, Mike and Jared. It's like, she's so pretty. I was like, I would watch it again. And then so making priorities every single day. I make sure I do something every day that would move the needle, like whether that's watching a mastermind. I would clean the house, something is plugged. Like I would always listen to masterminds. Like there was this mastermind, I'm not sure, I think it was removed already, but it was a end of year or early or first mastermind of the year. All of the 6As, I was just starting back then. It was like 3 hours long, and I watched that over and over again, and that's where I caught the vision. That's why attending the mastermind, if you can do it live, go for it. If not, if you have work, watch the replay. No excuses. And that's where, and I saw a common denominator, like all the 6As sharing on the mastermind. These are like ordinary people. If they can do it, you just need to put in the effort every single day. If they can do it, then I can do it too, right? And I think so. Time, but skepticism, and I would say third is really myself. Sometimes you don't want to do the work. Sometimes you feel lazy. Sometimes it's not every day. I'm telling you, I'm not motivated every single day. And that's just the truth. Sometimes I just want to sleep in. Oh, especially when I first quit my job. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm boss free. I don't have an alarm clock to answer to. I don't need to commute. I can sleep all day long. I would tell you, 3 months after quitting my job, that's like the honeymoon phase. And then after 3 months, it dawned on me like, oh my gosh, Katrina, if you really want to make this work, you have to be more accountable to yourself. I always say, treat this business as a business, because this is a business. And then something changed. Eric Warrior said, treat this business as your job until it pays you like a business. And isn't that the truth? Why? Because when in our job, we don't want to be absent. right? We don't want to skip it. Or otherwise we will, well, we want to skip, but we cannot, you know. Otherwise, you have to be accountable to your boss. You have to do your thing. You have to be on time. Even if you don't feel like working, going to the office, you have to get ready, go to the office and work and wait until, it's time to go home. If you do it every single day to your business as well, until it pays you like a business, then you're going to make it. It's just a matter of time. It's not really a matter of, will I make, is this business for me, or does this work? No, definitely it works, because they have like 200,000 people already. Am I right? In the dream team. And you guys here, this is already proof that the business is working. You guys being here, it's just a matter of time and how fast do you want to go there, right? Yeah. So I'm working on myself every single day, like the savers, the miracle morning. I fill my cup first so I can give more to my family, to my business partners, to the business, for you guys. There you go. So those are the things, and other things are just either a part of those or just like little side things, but those are the main things, Christine. Oh, and also I would add to that, under the skepticism, is the audience. Like, what would people think of me? Like, I would get like comments like, "You're scamming people. What are you doing?" Da, da, da. Did I get hurt? Absolutely. I was hurt. Like, oh my gosh. And then the time that my husband is already turning around, I was telling him, why are these people putting comments like this? I was trying to help my family and, earn a decent income for my family. But then I realized, it was actually Coach Chris McCallum. I did my coaching call with him. I remember the time, so my ads manager, my personal Facebook got restricted, so I cannot advertise, I cannot access everything. This like after almost just a month into the business, and I was like, what? So that's it? I don't have a business anymore. I've invested and I cannot run an ad. And then Chris had exact same thing. And he was like, okay, Katrina, just tell me when when you were able to access your account already. I was like, what? Why does it seem like so, he doesn't really get bothered about it? I was like, oh my gosh. So I just cried, I think, for a week and I just moved on. It's okay if you feel discouraged, but don't make it like a week. Cry for an hour or so or less and then move on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this work. I just created a new Facebook account, and then from then on, I was able to access again my original Facebook. And that's the thing. I realized, like, there are things that you cannot control, ad restrictions, things like that, people commenting on your ad, nasty things. You cannot control that. But what you can control is your own perspective, your own mindset, your own opinion. And the last time I checked, people's opinions do not pay the bills, right? Whatever you do, people will always have their own opinions. Not everybody will like you. That's not your goal. No, you're not here to please anybody. You're here to share information that can potentially also help them. We're here to help others, not just our own family. Yes, that's the main thing. We're helping our own families here. But at one point you will realize this is way bigger than your own. You're creating ripples, not just for your own family tree, but other people as well. 5 years ago, I didn't know that I'll be sharing here, 172 of us here, because listening to my experience, and I'm grateful for that. But it all started with just me dreaming for my own family. And then I realized, this is also what Mike and Darren has instilled in our culture. Zig Ziglar said, you can get anything in life, anything that you want in life, if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's the core, like, that's threaded in the seams of our business community, helping others. That's why I'm here sharing my experience. So whatever you can get from it, apply it, and hopefully it helps you one way or another, right? So there you have it. That was a long answer, Christine. I hope I was able to address that.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I love it. And I take so many
Thank
keynotes
you.
shared in here. So Sid, Katrina, one question. Can you share with us about your winning ad? What do you think make it a winning ad? This is from Eunice Wong.
Yes, here you go. I will actually share. Hang on, where is that? Here. I have some cheat sheet here that you guys can see. Hang on. Oops. What's going on? I'll just open it up here. And while I'm loading this one up, please note, guys, that I also started, like most of you here, no experience with social media advertising. I suck at videos. I suck at, advertising because I didn't have any experience. But just like with anything, it's a skill. And we get to learn a skill. We get to get good at it when you keep doing it. Just like riding a bicycle, just like driving a car. At first, you're nervous, you're awkward, you suck at it until you become familiar. And later on, you'll become so used to it, then you'll become, I'm not claiming I'm still a work in progress, but you'll be proficient at it. I think that's the term that I want to use. Hang on. Okay, it's loading now. So with anything, there you go. I'll share this one and hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So this is what I share also with my team. Every day we have a drop-in Zoom in our Dave and Roxanne's team, and every Monday I get to share as well. I lead the meta ads or the Facebook ads specifically, so I give them this tips. Okay, you guys are seeing this, PB, Josh, you guys are seeing this. Okay, perfect. So first of
Yes.
all, okay, so here are some checklists. Okay, again, this is not to replace a training site. It's still our main go-to, but this is supplementary based on my experience as well and also other coaches in our team. First off is your compelling story. Okay, story sells, but not just any story. It has to be powerful and compelling enough to hook your target audience to stop the scroll. Listen to what you have to say and get them to register for the info session. Remember, especially for those of you who are pretty brand new and still confused, what am I going to advertise? Do I post an adject? No. Remember, the only thing that we are marketing here is the business opportunity itself through our stories. That's attraction marketing. That's why you're here. That's why you click on your mentor's ad, because you resonated with their story. Or if you came here through a cold or warm market because you resonated with the story of your mentor, right? And here, I can also just share the link here before, just for the interest of time. Eric Worre mentioned the 4 elements of your story. What are these? Regardless of what stage of the business you're in, you're brand new, you're a few weeks, a few months, few years, or PB and Josh as well, 10 months. These are the core. First is your background. Like, who are you? What's your work? Where do you live? Because those are the elements that your audience can connect with. Oh, she's also from Toronto. Oh, she's also from the Philippines. Oh, she's also like working like this. This is her background. Da, da, da. Always mention those. Okay, your location, your work background. If you're an immigrant, where you're originally from. Those things. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you're a son, a daughter, and second is, what is it that you don't like with your background? Like your pain, this is where the pain point comes in. Like, I'm a healthcare professional. I got paid like pretty good income, but I was trading time for money. Right. And when PB and Josh, guested in our last team Zoom, they mentioned that like pretty decent income, but they just saw each other like what, like a few weeks in a year. Like, oh my gosh, what's the purpose of marriage? Like, let's just have an open marriage. PB said, right? So that's a pain point. So that's a second key, right? Second element. So your background, what you like about your background. Third is what you found. What you found out. This business opportunity, right? Business features are okay, but don't focus on that, because more than the mentorship, the training, people, your audience want to know what's in it for them. What can this business do for them? If you're brand new, leverage on the story of your mentors, your coaches in our dream team community. Reach out to them and ask them if you can use their story. Don't ask them to write the story for you. Go to their business page and snoop, right? And prepare it. And what I do, if I want to use someone else's leverage on other people's story, I snoop in their page, and then I create already a blurb on Canva, and I just send them. I love your story. I'm so inspired. I want to leverage you on my business page. I created a post. This is it. Would you mind if this is okay with you? You already prepared it. Don't ask them to prepare that for you. No, I'm giving you tips on how you can get a yes from somebody, especially if you're like reaching out to people who have been here in the business for a while. They have huge teams that, we're not saying we don't have time for you, but it's going to be a while. So if you want to get a yes right there and then, do your thing, do your research. Don't ask them like, what's your story? Be assertive, research, be proactive, do your thing, and then just ask for approval if that's okay. Then you'll get a yes, 1,000%. Okay. What you found out? I found this business opportunity, da, da, da. And I've seen a lot of parents like me being able to walk away from their 9 to 5. Okay, please be mindful of the flag words. Okay, go to the training site. And then the fourth element is, what are you excited about? Now I saw this opportunity. Now I'm looking forward that of all the possibilities as well for me, because I resonated with those stories. Now I'm excited every single day that I am working towards my goal. I did not say I have this, I have that, I'm earning this, I'm earning that, because I haven't yet, because I'm pretty brand new back then. But that's how I leverage on other people's success. Okay. So those are the 4 elements of your story. And then lighting. As visual beings, we naturally place more trust in face-to-face interactions, right? But since we're here on social media, so we want to simulate the feeling as much as possible. So we want to see facial expressions, gestures, eye contact clearly. So if we aim to replicate this sense of trust and connection on video, it's essential to prioritize factors like good lighting, maintaining eye contact. It's weird. Now it feels like I'm looking at each and every one of you. I'm actually just looking at a lens. Right now, I'm looking at PB and Josh, but I'm not looking at anybody, right? You see the difference? It's weird. It gets a lot of getting used to, but put like a dot somewhere that you can look into that. Okay, so you have to maintain eye contact using authentic facial expressions and gestures. Okay. And if you're doing videos, I've learned somewhere, I saw that, when you're starting a video or go live or a recorded video, start with having your palms showing. Hello, everybody, like that, because it's human subconscious, like honesty, like, because back in the day when people like, hiding their hands behind their back, like, hey, what's behind you? It's like, you cannot be trusted. So when you start, hello, everybody, this is Katrina. It's like, apart from it catches attention, there's movement, it connotes honesty. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm not hiding anything, right? So there you go. Another tip for you. So these elements help convey sincerity and build rapport with the audience, fostering a similar level of engagement and trust as in face-to-face instructions. I can also send this what do you call this tips to PB later, so you guys can just watch it. Okay, lighting tips. No, you don't need any fancy lighting. You can just face the window, face the door. Although I'm using like some lighting here, I started investing with good lighting stuff, I think early last year or so. There you go. Camera framing. Ensure you are framed well, preferably in the center or slightly off center for visual interest.
put on
Right now,
sale?
It's already sold.
It's already sold?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
One
so right
hour
now
after we put it
here,
up.
Oh,
1 hour.
how much is that? Excuse me. Can I ask?
sorry.
Excuse me.
okay, so right now I'm here at the center frame, right? I can talk, and when I want to insert videos and photos, I can just use it on like full frame. Or I can also go here. You see this? Now I have a space here on my right, maybe on your left, you guys. So I can now put like text here or photos here, right? Just for visual interest. There you go. And make sure, hang on, your camera is not like that. You see, I'm just too high here and not too low. Okay. I'm not looking down on you. Not like this. Although I see some ads working like this, I think it's still dependent on the energy, or not like I'm not looking up. It's like we're having a coffee conversation, like, hello, PV, hello, Christine, hello, Kathy, da, 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 right? Like straight in the eye. I have an external, what do you call this, camera on my laptop here, but on your phone, you can just prop it up, use a tripod, put it on the ledge of your, what do you call this, on a window, on a book, on a mug, but there are like $20 or less tripod that you can invest. It's a good investment for your business. But again, like get a mug, like put like stacks of books together. You can use that as your what do you call this, your tripod. Okay, and then here you go, there's a rule of thirds. I do have a background with broadcast communication. The dream started when I was in third year high school, I believe. So that's my background and my husband's background as well. So I pretty have like, we have a good eye on this. But guys, you don't need to have a background on broadcast communication to be able to practice this stuff. These are just like, simple things that you can do. Just straight in the camera like this, or on the side, or on the side. Okay. And then next is audio. Oh, by the way, with regards to like the actual video itself, pay attention to the background elements. Like whatever you see in my background, this is curated. Like I put those frames, like this is, I think, mixed styles a few years back. I can remove that. There's no mess in there. But I put those pictures intentionally because I want my audience to connect with me like, hey, I'm a mom. This is my family. I'm a family woman. Okay. Be mindful. Choose a clean and clutter-free backdrop that complements the message of the video. If you're targeting people who want to travel more, maybe you're outdoors, you're traveling, but be mindful also of the background, right? You can film at home, but make sure, it's not too much, there's not much things going on that it removes the focus from you and what you're saying, okay? And audio, very important, regardless of how beautiful your video is, your background is, your location, even if you're in Paris, in London, if your audience gonna understand what you say, they're gonna skip. So always consider investing in a good quality microphone. It doesn't need to be expensive or super fancy. I think there's like less than $30, $20 clip-on mic. I can also send this suggestions to PB later so she can share with you guys. For recording crystal clear audio, affordable options are available on Amazon, or check your local, what do you call it, Staples, or what do you call this, a bookstore, or Indigo here in Canada. You can check this recommendations below and ensure, of course, that they're compatible with your phone, your gadgets that you're using. I am currently using, I'll also send what I personally use, although I don't recommend you guys investing with these right now because I just recently invested in the business. So I have, what do you call this, a boom mic, and I connected on my phone. I just use also the Rode mic. This is a really good quality, like the vloggers, the reporters, they use this. This is what I use, just so for you to have an idea if you're a gadget, if you want to invest later on. Again, I'm not saying you do it right now, okay? These are all optional, but this is how I invest in my business, okay? And then minimize background noise by recording in a quiet environment or using noise canceling equipment. Monitor audio levels during recording to avoid distortion or clipping. And after you record, always make sure that you double check, you play the audio and everything is clear, like play it in full. I have I filmed a video ad in the Philippines and I didn't realize my microphone was already bat empty. So I was just talking, and I was listening. Oh my gosh, it's nothing. I wasn't able to use it. So make sure you always use that, okay? And video quality, shoot in high definition or 4K resolution. I personally use CapCut. There are a lot of free versions, but make sure when you save, there's no watermark. There's no logo of watermark. There's no watermark of CapCut. There's no logo like InShot. Why? It looks more professional, you know. So if you can subscribe for a month and then just cancel it, do that, okay? Because especially if not using it, I am investing. I think I paid like $15 per month on CapCut because I use it on my like reels, okay? And I like how you know you can check other options, okay? And then use the back camera if possible for higher video quality. And use adequate lighting to ensure the subject, you, which is you, are well lit and visible. And natural or soft artificial lighting works best, like facing the sun. It's the God's light, right? And maintain visual consistency throughout the video to enhance viewer engagement and retention. Sometimes you keep on filming. It's morning, it's already afternoon, the sun has set, so it's a different feel already. Make sure you know you have that consistent feel throughout your video. Editing, while launching ads without editing can occasionally work. Editing for me is like putting, you know, cropping something, putting photos, videos. I've personally found that enhancing the video with basic edits make a noticeable difference. You don't need like fancy transitions. No, just it's just changing like that. So there you go. Personally, I use CapCut for editing purposes. You don't have to get fancy with your edits. Just video overlays. Subtitles is important, like the captions. While I'm talking, you can read something, because sometimes, especially like YouTube or Facebook, sometimes, especially for us immigrants, we have like a certain twang or certain accent that Facebook doesn't really understand, and they would put like different words. So make sure you put your own subtitles. And then basic transition, test it out with music or no music, but make sure if you use music, since we're already talking, use music that has no lyrics on it. There are many options that you can use without like, you know, being without the copyright infringement, things like that. And then make sure it doesn't overpower your talking, you talking, okay? And here you go. I'll also send this one later. And of course, you review it. So before finalizing your edited video, before launching it, watch it several times, get feedback for from your mentor or coach, ensure its quality. I also, whenever I launch my ads, I always post it first on my business page, okay? And then I would warm it up with organic engagement from my audience. I don't personally ask like, oh, please season this. It's up to you. I think it's a matter of personal choice, but I chose to have it. And also because I've been here for a while, so yes, I do have like more following right now than when I got started. So I would basically like warm it up with organic comments like congratulations coach, and then after a week I would launch my ad, okay? And then I was trying to record earlier, but my laptop kind of is super slow earlier. But when I launch my ad, I usually do conversion ads right now because it's the most automated for me. And when I launch my ads, instead of, since I will post it first on my business page, you know, when you get to that option when it says it's like campaign, ad set, and ad level, right? When you're on the ad level, instead of manually uploading your photo or video, I now choose select existing posts. And from there, you will be given the option to choose your existing post. And now I will be able to choose the post that I just recently posted, like from a week back, right? So it's easy to find. And whatever organic comments, organic engagement I got from there, it will be on my ad. That's why I do that. So when my audience sees that, they will not be shy to comment first because they're already seeing a lot of like engagement. Oh, okay, this person is real. Maybe I can check it out. So it creates more engagement, right? And when it comes to targeting, I target myself. So I would do with the interest. So I would just usually target women age 20s. They would say like plus or minus 10. But this is my personal, okay? So feel free to take away whatever could work for you as well. I target age 27. There's a magic number for me. I think because that's the age when I really started like, okay, what do I want with my life? So 27 to around 55, 55 years old. And the women, immigrants. How do I target immigrants? So what I'll do English and Filipino for the language. And then I would go to the interest expats and I would choose recently um, lived in the Philippines. So I'm targeting audience in the US, Canada, Australia, UK. And of course, I'm not just targeting Filipinos, Filipino moms, but because I'm putting their English. So I'm able to capture moms like abroad. And then I target my previous work, like all types of nursing. Can I see, like, can you guys type RN if you're a nurse here? If there are any nurses here, type RN. Because, oh my gosh, there you go. Yes, of course, Phoebe and Josh, Phoebe is an RN. There you go. There you go. You know what? If you're not yet aware, go to the interest. You type in all types of nursing and you can actually target like ICU nurse, registered nurse, labor and delivery nurse, all types of nurses. And when you do that on the targeting on Facebook and you click suggestions, it will actually suggest more types of targeting that are related to nurses. And I love targeting nurses. Why? Because they're tired, right, Phoebe? They're tired. They're so tired. And also, most of them, they have the budget because they're earning, substantial income. But yeah, they're burnout. So they're like, okay, I want to invest. I tried targeting also before stay-at-home moms. No offense to, stay-at-home moms. I've been a stay-at-home mom before. While I was on my mat leave. The thing is, like, this is just based on my experience, of course, right? And it differs for case to case, but I do have like stay-at-home mom business partners. The challenge there is even if they wanted to start the business, if they're fully dependent on their spouses, it's so hard. Like they cannot make that decision for themselves because it's a household. Like I believe that everything will be like should be a household income, but it's harder if you're not like like there's not like technically an income coming from your side, even if you're not, you're taking care of the kids, right? So it's really hard. So that's why I was like, oh, okay. So if I target stay-at-home moms, I'm getting a lot of leads, a lot of traction, but it's just so hard for them to convert. That's why I love targeting working moms specifically because they have the drive and they have the means. Even, just 149, it's not a big, super big decision for them. They can just refund, but they have that because for others, even just the 149, it's so hard. And, I feel the frustration on their end, right? Yeah, bedside nurse, there's also that targeting on Facebook. Hang on. Yes, and I also target like explore the browse the categories like the parents. I target all parents, and then I also test the marketing professionals, finance professionals, healthcare professionals on the on the category. So when you explore that, you'll get more ideas, and go to your Amazon account as well. If you guys are shopping on Amazon, and go to your on the homepage of your Amazon, it will suggest brands that you can shop for because and then target those brands. There was a time, I think it was last year, it was also back to school, so I was shopping like school supply for my kids. And I started targeting those brands, like the Herschel brand for the bag, the pencil brand, the ball pen, the pens. Target those because that means you are targeting the same moms like you shopping for school supplies, right? Brands of baby clothes, things like that, brands of baby equipment. That means you're targeting fellow moms like you who are, maybe you have little kids as well, or or parents of a certain bracket of age of their children. You can do that. Start there, like start exploring the categories and see. You can also ask Chat GPT, like, how can I target, like, what are the Facebook interests of, I'm a social media marketer. I'm targeting the working moms in Canada or in the US. What are the target interests that I can put on my ads manager? Or you can also ask, like, what are the provinces or states or cities in the US or in Canada or in Australia, whatever location, but that's my top four: Australia, UK, Australia, Canada, USA, Australia, and UK. So what are the cities? What are the states where there are, immigrant nurses or Filipino nurses or whatever, ethnicity you came from, if you want to target your people abroad. So ask ChatGPT and test that one out. Again, at the end of the day, at this point, I'm still testing, I kind of have like a better understanding of how my ad works. I usually start with before like 20 and then 27. Now I start with $50 per day because I want it like, faster than the usual, but you definitely can start with like 20 ideally. If you can do like 15, 10, that's okay, as long as you're more patient, right? You just need to be more patient with that. $50, I am expecting at least like 3-5 leads same day. If I don't get that, I will monitor it closely for the first 3-5 days. That's the most crucial for me. If I don't get like at least 5 to 7, 5 to 8 leads on that one campaign, $50 ads, I will change something like interests, right? The first and last thing that I would edit is my ads, the creative itself, like the video itself. I would take my time making quality video because that would be the last thing that I will edit. If I launch it and I feel like it's not working, I will play around with the interest targeting. Okay. And if I did everything, I will change my video. Usually I have a 3-month, what do you call this? 3-month. I would get like my ads would get fatigued on the 3rd month. That means a lot of people have seen my ad, same people, like for those 3 months. So I would need to change my targeting. Like maybe I would play around with the work, with the interest targeting. Sometimes people, it would work with them without any interest targeting, just doing the gender, the age, and that's it, and the location. I've tried that in the past, but putting targets, interest targeting, the demographics as well, like the parents, the moms, it worked better for me. And then I make sure, of course, ads is just one facet. It's a huge facet, but it's just one of. You cannot just run ads and then, okay, I'm set. No, you have to engage with your audience, right? You have to consistently post and put value, because if you're running ads and they click on your personal profile or your business page and your last post is like December 2023, like, oh my goodness, don't expect that you'll have a business partner, right? Because at the end of the day, this business is also any business for that matter is always building relationships, one person at a time, right? You're helping people here. This is a people business. they would trust you more if you show up more, right? And if you'll just document your daily life because it's already there. If you'll just document it and share value with your audience, they would resonate more, right? And then, of course, having the skills, doing your ads, daily posting. At the end of the day, that's just 20%. I know it's huge, huge work, but that's just 20%. What is the 80%? It's still yourself, your mindset. Like, where are you coming from? Are you coming from a place of, oh, I just want, sales, sales, sales. I just want people, we're not selling per se, but I just want people to buy it, buy it. No, no. When you feel stuck, like you're running ads, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you feel like, oh, I feel stuck, get over yourself. Ask yourself, how can I be of service to others? How can I serve someone? How can I be of help? How can I serve my team better? How can I, you're a servant leader. How can I help this person? Or, and when you lose focus out of yourself, I'm not getting leads, I'm not getting buyers, all of a sudden, for some, divine works, things turn around and you have a better energy, and then you start getting leads, buyers, right? And it always works for me also. And when you become grateful for the things that you have right now, starting with the heart of gratitude, like I'm grateful I have like my current business partners right now. I'm grateful that I'm awake, I'm breathing, I can walk from my bed to the washroom, I can hug my kids. I'm grateful that we've all gathered back home, like from school, from work, things like that. And it will put you in a different light, right? Okay, here. Lots of questions. There you go. CNA. I also target CNA, certified nursing assistant. Yes, Leslie, nurse anesthetist, things like that. Targeting there's really like not a hard number there, Balkisu, but I would put like maybe 10 is good, 15, 20. Sometimes I categorize. For example, I would just put work, like all the nursing, all the marketing, things like that. Or I would do sometimes Filipino brands, for example, whatever your ethnicity is, like Jollibee, like ABS-CBN, GMA7, like TV networks, like what are the interests of the people that I'm targeting, Yes, I'm not tired. I want to retire. There you go, Leslie. I feel you. Teresa, a friend of mine wants to join, but she's stay-at-home mom, and it only depends on her spouse's income. Yeah, unless they would be able to talk to their spouse. So yes, I feel that. How much is your ad budget? When I first discovered my winning ad, I was spending, I think, $15-20 per day. If you're starting with $15-20, I would suggest targeting just one country or states and provinces. Okay, so your budget is not stretched too thin. In one ad revenue targets, yeah, I would start with at least 10, 15. There was this time I think I put like 50 or so. It's, again, test it out, right? I think my sweet spot there is about 15 to 20 targets. Tests. How many days do you give your ad? Changing something. If it gives me so I launch it, I post it first, I launch it, I give it the first week, I would say the first 3 to 5 days, it's crucial, right? And if it did not give me the results that I'm aiming for a week, for example, at $50, I would expect like 5 to 8 leads per day. I would change it. So give it at least a week. I think that's also the window when the ad exits learning phase. Farzan, when you target your audience and targeting, do you just edit the same ad or make a new one? If I will I will only edit an existing ad if I'm adding a budget to it. I don't edit. If the ad is already running, I don't change locations. I don't change anything except for the budget. If I will increase it, I would just relaunch a brand new one. Okay. And if I still want to use the same ad, then I'll just choose the same post. Okay. remember on the ad level, or if I did not post that ad and I just manually uploaded it, I'll just get the ID, the ad ID. You can feel free to search it up on Google on your training site, interest of time, to get the ad ID, and I would just reuse that. Okay, I have a winning ad. Carson, I have a winning ad, but people don't convert to become a buyer. I'm planning to change my targeting, might be the reason why. A winning ad for me, a winning ad is a winning ad when it converts. When it converts people from leads to buyers to distributors. Okay. So make sure you start with your story. Start there. Okay. And then you launch it based on my suggestions. Yeah. And also you can play around with targeting. Same ad and retarget all the time. I try to change anything. Amy, sometimes doing a lot editing, tinkering with your ads. That's a flag activity for Facebook. Facebook would think, Meta would think, oh, what are you doing? Why do you keep on changing? Right? It flags them. Give it a week at least. And if you would like to retarget, launch a new one. Yes, Anna. If I want to change something, that's a good point. Yes, I do duplicate, and then the duplicate, I just edit that, whatever I want to change, and then I launch it. I wait for it to get approved first. When that's approved, I will now turn off the other one. I make sure I have an ongoing ad, okay, before I stop the old one. Is the number of your targeted interests dependent on your ad budget? How many interests? Yes. Yes, that could be a factor as well, Mediha. For a $15 budget, I would say, 10, 15. There's really like no hard, fast rules when it comes to targeting. For a $15 budget, I would say you can do like 10, 15 interest targeting and do cities or just one country or sorry, states or provinces. Because the thing here is the concept here is, okay, Facebook, I have a $15 budget. This is what I want to target. It's going to take a little time because Facebook will stretch that $15 to all these countries, to all of these, targets, right? To make it easier for Facebook. Okay, I want to target nurse moms in this 4 provinces in Canada. That's way better. That's way easier for Meta, right? I hope that helps. Corazon, welcome. Yeah. Curzon, still congratulations. If you're getting a lot of buyers, even if they've refunded, that means they saw something. So maybe there's just one thing missing there on how you're communicating with them, like addressing their questions, because they're already here, right? You've got their attention already. So yes, your ad is a potentially winning ad. So maybe it's just somewhere along the lines, like maybe they saw the price of the investment amount. Usually that's what turns off people, right? So just manage. So I think you're mastering the part of the ads there. Now what you need to master is addressing those objections, right? And we have those templates as well. Being more intentional on how coming from a position of, hey, I'm just giving you information here, I'm not really convincing you. I have those leads who would say, okay, Katrina, convince me more. Why do I need to join this? When leads do that to me, I would say, hey, for example, hey, Regina, hey, Naida, hey, Suzette, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to give you information. You reached out to me because you wanted to earn on the side, because you're tired of your work, right? That's why I always ask them, hi, PB, hi, Josh. I saw your comment in my post. Glad to connect with you here. May I please know what got you interested with this opportunity? And where are you based right now? You ask them first. Don't just like blast them with the links and whatever, right? Get to know, be intentional, be more intentional with your audience, with your leads. Because at the end of the day, you'll get back to that. Like, if they have lots of objections, like get back to their whys. Like, okay, you mentioned you wanted to earn da, da, da. If you're not going to do this, do you have any other backup plans? What were you hoping to see? You know? So, it's also a skill, like answering objections. Your concept of the way you address any objections, always think of feel, felt, found. Oh, Katrina, this is how can people afford these? Or I don't have the time, I'm so busy. Like all these kinds of objections, those are the most common ones, right? I always say feel, felt, found. Hey, Regina, I feel you. I totally understand. Empathize with them first. Like, don't like, no, that's not true. Of course not. Of course, yeah, it seems expensive, but it's really cheap. No, empathize with them first. Understand them. I totally understand you. I feel you. That was how I felt too. That was my reaction too 5 years ago when I saw the prices. Like, it's ridiculous, right? But what I found out is that there are several ways to get started. There are financing involved. Da, 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 da. You know what? I actually asked ChatGPT, like, address this question like Ray Higdon, address this question like Eric Worre, and then I just change the wordings that will fit my personality, like my own voice. You can do that. Okay. So I think you can work on that part, Corazon. And don't be too hard on yourself. They're buying in. That means your ad, they saw something in your ad. You just need to bridge the gap from them being a buyer to becoming a distributor. Okay. Ratio for leads to buyers. In our team, we have this, like, if it's a cold market, like, sorry, when it's from advertising, usually when you get 100 leads, you should expect, if it's a winning ad, 1 to 4 buyers, regardless if they refund or not. Okay. I think for me it's a little higher, but I would say you set your goals on that. 100 leads, get 1 to 4 buyers. So if you've gotten 50 leads so far and you haven't gotten a buyer, don't shut it down. A little more patience. Okay. Of course, if it's a bigger number for you, that's better. How to encourage buyers to book the coaching? Oh, I would ask them, like, I would send, when I have a buyer, I welcome them, I tag them on posts, and I actually collated my favorite, testimonials on Dream Team, and I put it on a Google site, and then I send that link to them apart from tagging them. And then I would ask them if they had the chance to watch it. And I would check with them after a couple of days, say, hey, have you, sorry, I was busy with, onboarding new business partners. Have you gotten the chance to finish watching the discovery videos? Always ask them how they're doing on their end. Oh, yes. And I would ask them what they like best about them. Always, that's a crucial, especially also for people, your leads, who have watched the webinar. Have you watched it? Oh, yes. What did you like best about it? Don't ask like, how was it? You're opening a can of worms. They would say a lot of stuff. Ask them always, what did you like best? Because in that sense, you're forcing them, not really forcing, but you're encouraging them to remember what they liked about it. And you want them to build up the business on their end, and not like, oh, it's really good. It's not us saying, oh yeah, this is really good, you can quit your job. Da, da, da. It's actually them saying those things, right? And all you just need to say is, sounds good. Now it looks like you're ready to get started, and here is the purchase link for the info session, or here is the link to book the coaching call, right? And they have questions. Oh, how's the financing? Oh, good question. You know what? You'd be better exploring all the details on the coaching call. Here's the coaching call link. There you go. That's how I do it. There you go. I think, did I answer everything over time? I hope I'm giving value to you guys. My son is knocking already. There you go. Thank you. If you find value in that, comment the letter V for value. If you find something that you can use, that's useful for you.
Guys, Katrina give us so much value, guys. So give a lot of heart for her, please. And tell her that you thank you, appreciate her. Because this is on golden nuggets, guys. It's literally, I just want Kenya to take you home. Just so amazing.
Oh, there. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Awesome. There you go.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a lot of love in this guy. Thank you so much, oh Katrina.
You're
You know,
welcome.
like I love that you say, hey, you know, from beginning, you're right. We started business so that we can taking care of our family. But then it go bigger than this, right? How many lives that we can transform along the way. So
Yes.
give her love, guy. This is so amazing. And thank you so much. Any
You're
other
welcome.
question for Coach Katrina before she need to go back to her son, guy? Thank you. So
There
I,
you go. And
yeah,
I'll have a bonus for you guys if you still let me,
yes,
PB and
please,
Josh. Yeah,
yes.
I'll show you. Maybe you guys are wondering, or maybe you guys have seen my recent ads. Like I would get comments, "Oh, Katrina, you got it so easy. You got your results right now, so it's so much easier for you to attract leads right now." Yes, there's of course there's some truth to that, but it's not always like that, right? And I can hear the anxiety in those voices because hello. My son's like, there's a glass here, and this is in the patio. It's like peeking, my mommy. I want to show this to you guys that it's not always like that. I started just like anybody else. And what's good with that? That means wherever I am right now, you can be here or beyond. And I want to show you my very first winning video ad. And it's so cringe to see, but I want you to see this is you will suck first with anything that you haven't done in the past. You will stumble and fall. If it's your first time riding a bike, you know, but as you go along. So here, this is a photo ad. Let's see. Hopefully it loads up. Uh, hang on. And that's why it's also very I highly suggest you document your journey, because these are the things that you will share with your mentees as well, your business partners, that hey, I did not have it all easy. You know. Hang on. View original. Okay, I'm just getting the link here so it's easier. Okay, I think I'll just get it from here. Oh, there you go. Hang on. Stop share. Let's just open a new thing here. And this is no photo inserts. This is just one go. I think this is like third push of the button. um uh, and mind you, before this, like maybe I've filmed like more than 50 video ads, like, you know, just trying and trying, getting awkward edits. And this one, I always film when I'm feeling good. Sometimes people feel like they're feeling frustrated from work and it becomes their winning ad, right? So personally for me, how it work is when I'm feeling good and I feel like, oh, okay, I think I can film that. Because I've done it so many times, so now it just comes naturally. But here you can see, but somehow, you know, I have an outline of what I would say. I tried using, what do you call this, like notes, but it felt so awkward. But so now I just have I just kind of memorize it in a bit. So I was about to, are you guys seeing this? Hang on. Yeah, okay. I was about to pick up the kids, and my little one was just like 8 months old, 9 months old back then. So I just told them it's a good thing the hallway. I just pick up my kids from the after school. It's a free program after school here in Toronto. So good thing the hallway is empty. Otherwise, I would be like, oh my gosh, the people are looking at me. But here, I'll show it to you. So I have it shows here 2020, but the first time I actually launched this was November, I think, of 2019. Or yeah, that time. So I just put here a little intro, and here you go. It's a 2 minute 36 seconds. And I got 400 engagement here, 432
Comment.
comments. Oops. What happened? Okay, hang on, I'll just load this up. And I didn't know the formula back then yet, but I think I pretty much put it like that. That's why it worked. Oops, what is going on? Zoom out. Hang on. Sorry, it's way, way big. I'll just reload it again. Hang on. If you guys need to hop off, that's totally fine. You can watch the replay. For those of you who are still here, thank you so much for staying.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your time and you give us everything. This is truly amazing. Thank you.
Here. Here you go. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I still use this jacket. This is my lucky jacket. All the way from
Hooray!
my husband bought this from the Philippines. Here you go.
Originally from the Philippines, I'm now based here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, with my family. I have here my 3 boys, and my 9-month-old here, Hunter. We're here at the community center. I'm actually picking them up from their after-school program. So back in the Philippines, I shifted careers from being a licensed life insurance advisor to a registered nurse. And I was also a TV production staff. So it's always finding that balance between career and family life. And so prior to my parental leave this year, I looked for ways to supplement our family income. And just like you, I saw this video post like this on my newsfeed. I clicked on it and I was led to a 19-minute webinar to teach me exactly how I can have a successful internet-based online business. And I'm just so glad I clicked on that link and now I'm able to do it. I'm now 7 months into it and I'm seeing results. And I'm so glad for it. Just like you, I just have a dream. I have a dream for my family. I have dreams for my parents back home in the Philippines. I want to be able to bring them here to Canada to live with them because I'm growing old. They're growing old too. I want to spend more time with them. I want them to spend time with my kids as well. And my husband and I also dreams of prepared for our golden years without sacrificing for now. And most especially, we want to spend more time with our church family, do more ministry work. That's why I clicked on that link. And so if you are God-fearing, if you are hardworking, if you are driven, and if you also have dreams for yourself and for your family, then maybe this opportunity is also for you. So just check it out. It's risk-free and just register with your name and email address and I will be sending you all the information that you need afterwards. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. God bless.
There you have it. That's my first winning video ad, I feel like I want to make myself speak faster. I started with "Hey there." Of course, a lot of improvements. I would be like a huge critic of myself, but I want to show that to you because that's where I started. It's not the perfect one, but it's the perfect story for me at that moment because that's my authentic story. That's my origin story. And all of you here, all of us here have our origin story, like what brought you here, right? I speak so slow. And that was like maybe 30, 40 pounds ago as well. So make that as an inspiration. You have to start somewhere. If you're always waiting for the perfect moment to film your ad, that's gonna not
Imagine traveling the world while making money online. Hello, everybody.
that's not gonna happen because there's no such thing as like a perfect moment, right? So 5 years after, this is one of my recent winning ad, and people are like commenting. A few people are commenting it's like not real. So 5 years after 5 years of consistent working on myself, on my skills, this is how it looks like now.
Imagine traveling the world while making money online. Hello, everybody. This is Katrina. And yes, I'm coming to you right now from the very famous Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. And yes, this is actually one of the major bucket list ticked off. This week, I'm wrapping off a week-long trip first from Dubai for a few days and coming here with a business partner as well. I'm so grateful. 4 years ago, this was so far out from my reality. And if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I didn't see this coming. It all started when I just wanted something extra. I was on my mat leave. I'm a mother of three, and with different career backgrounds, I wanted something that would supplement our resources. I'm originally from the Philippines. I'm now based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada with my family. And during my mat leave 4 years ago, I was just looking for something flexible that I can do from home while taking care of our newborn and my two older kids. And then I saw an ad, a post like this on my social media newsfeed. And then I got curious. Of course, a part of me was also a bit skeptical because it's online and I didn't have any prior experience. And I was like, okay, but the couple that I saw the ad on my social media newsfeed was talking about faith, family, and giving more to their ministry. I was like, okay, let's check this out. And then I can say the rest is history. And because of this opportunity, I was able to walk away from my 9 to 5 like 19 months into the business. By the way, in the Philippines, I shifted from one career to another. I was a TV production staff at one of the TV networks there, GMA7. The show was Unang Hirit. And then I also became a life insurance advisor, a registered nurse, always trying to find that balance between career and family life. And then in Canada, different survival jobs, trading time for money. I'm grateful. Canada is beautiful, but again, we wanted something like wiggle room towards the end of each month. And then when I found this opportunity, everything like it changed the game for us. I was able to not only pay off debts, move to a new place in downtown Toronto, sponsor our parents to live with us. So many tourists to live with us in Canada. Also, send our eldest to a private school. So many other things, beautiful things. And also, what's amazing is now I'm able to teach thousands of other families and parents like me do exactly the same. So if this resonates with you, then maybe this is also something that you are looking for. Click on the link around this video and you'll be registering with your name and email address. You'll be watching a 90-minute free info session, like an overview of how the business works, and see if it's a good fit for you or not. And I would always say, you know what? There are no accidents. You're seeing this video, it's a divine appointment. At the end of the day, you have the power to decide. And most of us, we are one decision away from changing our lives forever. 4 years ago, I wouldn't know that one single decision of looking into this opportunity would totally change the game for me and my family. And, giving more to our church family as well. I'm just so grateful. So check it out, see if it's a good fit for you or not. Ask me questions. You don't need any prior experience as long as you are coachable, you're a big dreamer, and that you're worth more than what you're doing right now, and that you want to have more so you can give more. I pray for your decision. And who knows, maybe 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, you're also traveling with me to the places that you love to visit, either with just by yourself or with the whole family. And I pray for your decision. Bye for now. All right. Thank you. God bless.
And whatever I
Wow,
did to you, that's how I applied it there.
that's amazing, amazing. I want to click on your ad.
Thank you. And yes, that has given a lot of leads, buyers, distributors. That was like a December ad. I launched it, I think February. A lot of social proof there, the music, the energy, the backstory there. My flight going back to here in Toronto was at 2 p.m. You have to be there at least 2 hours. The time I was filming that, it's already 12 noon.
Wow.
That's why I was like, okay, there's like popping sound, like noise. I was like, and people are like looking at me. What am I doing? I don't care. I'm gonna have this as a winning ad. Don't care
Yes.
about what other people would think, right? Um, there you have it. So thank you so much, everybody. I'll just share also later the link for my what do you call this? The time capsule video. But yeah, whatever I did there, that's how I apply it on my ad as well. And at the end of the day, it's really like the intentionality, coming from a place of helping other people. Like, hey, this is how much this business has changed my life or other people's lives. I'm excited to go towards that goal, or this is what I'm excited. I like more goals, and this is what's possible for you as well. Check it out. Don't be too attached on the outcomes because you cannot control that. Focus on the daily activities and the intentionality, because if you focus on that, the things that you can control, eventually it was just a matter of time, because really there are a lot of things that we cannot control here, but let's focus on the things that we can control, and that's our mindset and the daily activities that we do. Okay. And you guys coming here, making the time. I know it's like more than 2 hours now, but thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure serving you. I hope to make it worth your while. Maybe you've taken some notes as well. To make it worth your while, I always ask my team as well whenever we have Zoom, what are your like maybe top 3 takeaways, or even just one, and apply it like right after the Zoom or tomorrow. If you can do it after the Zoom, go ahead. Like maybe post something. What are your nuggets here? Or how will you be consistent with your posting or with your ad? Or maybe just a mind shift, like working on yourself, reading something. I'm I have my books here. This is my current read apart from my, my faith books. Um, Always listening on something, maybe when you're cleaning the house, watch the masterminds, things like this. Watch this again if you want to listen again and find more nuggets, right? So that's it. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, PB and Josh, for taking the time. It's not easy to gather your team, our team, like on a weekend, right? And thank you as well for letting me invite my own team. I know you guys are here, and also Dave and Roxanne's team are here as well. So thank you for being here. We're always here to support you the best way we can. And yeah, so see you around, maybe in there's a Magic convention. Buy your tickets. I've already bought mine because they said small events, bigger events, more people to invite, the bigger your business can grow. So make sure you buy your tickets. It's going to be in June at Chula Vista, San Diego, California. And also inviting your team on Zooms like this, because these are events that, you know, sometimes people, when they hear it from another person, a flick, a switch can be flicked, and then it will change everything for them. So there you have it. Thank you, PB and Josh.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody give her some more love and truly appreciate you. And I agree with you. We are here to help and to serve others. So truly blessed, guys. Hey, let's give her a lot of love right now, guys. Everybody, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
And
so
let-
much, everybody. So let's have this one. Let me open it big so that now we can have more last picture and video. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Yay, thank you, everybody. God bless
much.
your.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Katrina. You're the best. We love you.
Thank you.
Hooray,
Thank
hooray,
you.
hooray.
Everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
PB.
Have a
Coach,
good
thank
night, everybody.
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And PB and
Thank
Josh.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great night,
Thank you, Coach.
everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Love you
Thank you,
guys.
thank you, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
everyone.
Bye.
baby.
Good
God
night.
bless.
Bye.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Night from Dublin.